Hello my sweet friends and welcome to DIY with Nadia. Today is a little bit of a different video. I'm participating in the What Would You Do challenge. In this challenge, before each DIY, you will see a little spin wheel. Whatever department of Dollar Tree that the spin wheel stops on, I had to grab an item and incorporate it into my DIY. There's 3 items, 3 different departments. When you're done with this video, please hit on the playlist that's in my description box, and there you will find a ton of other DIYers and see what they did, how they did on this challenge. To start this project, I'm grabbing the silver tray from the kitchen department of the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint the edge and just a little bit on the inside with this chalk paint by Rust-Oleum in linen white. After my 2 layers of the chalk paint dried, I'm just grabbing my glue gun, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue some moss onto the tray itself. Then I realized I wanted to make the center candle just a little bit higher. So I'm grabbing some of these Jenga blocks from the Dollar Tree that I previously painted white. And I'm going to give 2 layers just to raise the height of the middle section a little higher. And I'm also going to be covering that with moss. To decorate the candles, I'm grabbing this buffalo check ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I found that this is the best way to attach ribbon on candles. I'm just grabbing a piece of tape just to hold the ribbon in place. Then I'm wrapping it around, overlapping it about 1/2 inch, cutting it off, and then I'm going to hot glue it in place. And I'm putting the hot glue on the ribbon, not on the candle, because it will not hold. For the final touch, I'm grabbing this light green jute cord ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to just wrap it around the candle right in the middle of where the buffalo check ribbon is, and I'm going to tie a bow in the front. And now I'm just placing the candles in place. For this project, I'm starting with the steering wheel cover that I got from the automotive department, and I'm going to be putting it around the organizer basket. Now, I only released the rubber band from one side of my cover because I want the other side to kind of stay together, because that's going to be the bottom of my organizer basket. Then I just started hot gluing the edge of the cover over the sides of the basket. Next, I cut off the excess of the wheel cover that I had, and as cleanly as I could, I just overlapped the fabric and made it nice and pretty where the 2 sides came together. Now I'm grabbing a piece of newspaper and just crunching it down to the bottom of the organizer basket. It'll cover that bottom, and it will give my terracotta pots a little bit of a lift. Next, I'm going to give my 3 terracotta pots 1 layer of white chalk paint. These are the ones that come 3 in a pack at the Dollar Tree. Now I'm just grabbing some moss and putting it right on the paper in the organizer basket. To fill the terracotta pots, I'm grabbing these 1.9 inch or 48 millimeter little foam balls from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to pop them in. Next, I'm just hot gluing the little foam balls in place. Now it's time to decorate the top of the foam balls, and I'm going to be using the moss that I have on hand, and I'm just using some hot glue, and I'm just attaching the moss right on top and kind of forming it in a little hill so it's nice and neat. For the egg topiary, I'm grabbing these egg pigs from the Dollar Tree, and they already come with cute little bows on them. If you don't like the bows, you can always take them off. I did not know how tall I wanted my topiary to be, so just to be on the safe side, I'm just grabbing some green paint, and I'm going to paint the wood part green so it blends in and looks like it's a stem instead of just a little stick. To complete this project, I'm just cutting down my little pigs to size, and I did cut them down twice. I wanted them to be a little shorter than I originally started. And then I'm just placing the little terracotta pots into my little organizer basket. For this project, I'm grabbing a sanding block and a glass I got at the glassware department in the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to sand the outside of the glass as much as I can. The reason I'm doing this is to make sure that the paint has something to grab onto when we're painting the glass versus a smooth surface that the paint can just chip off of. To paint my glass, I'm using this premium chalky paint by Craftsmart, and I'm just going to give it 2 coats, and I tried to make it as even as I could, but at the end of the day, it's black paint. It's not going to be noticeable, so do the best that you can. Now it's time for the fun part. I let my vase dry for a good hour. I wanted to make sure my paint was really dry before I started this. And also make sure you are somewhere in a vented area. I did open my window even though it was freezing here in Chicago, but I did open the window just to make sure I had fresh air while doing that because that nail polish can get a little potent. All I'm doing here is pouring some nail polish into a container of plain water. The color that I'm using is LA Colors Color Craze in Silver 409, but you can also use white. White would look really pretty with this. I just did not have white on hand. And all I'm doing is just dipping once, and then I did want to dip it twice, but before I dipped it the second time, I realized that there's paint that collects at the bottom of the vase, so I did just use a little scraper and just scrape the excess nail polish off the bottom of the vase, and then I let it dry for a good hour before I continued with the next step. Now I'm just flipping the vase upside down, and I'm going to dip it from the top, and I'm just going to do this once, and I'm just going to let it dry. When the vase is nice and dry, it's time to decorate. I did decide to decorate with some roses and these blooming branches, and it just turned out to be such a gorgeous vase. I think you guys all can do this, and let me know if you like this because this is a super easy project and anyone can do it, but it might not be everybody's style. Let me know down below. hope you guys enjoyed this video and this challenge. Let me know down below how you think I did and which DIY was your favorite. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to my channel and love Dollar Tree DIYs, this may be the channel for you. Please consider subscribing. And of course, have a beautiful day, and I will see you all in my next video.